Okay, so this video is specifically for people who are spiritual or clairvoyant or clairaudient or some sort of spiritual. So if you're not that, you can just go ahead and scroll because you're not about to judge me on my page. I'll wait. Okay, so anyway, as a clairvoyant person, I get messages in the form of dreams, and this is why I say that I absolutely hate when people pop up in my dream. I hate it because stop thinking about me. Either say what you want to say in person or get up out of my head.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Th- Thank you. Cause you could. Why you ain't saying nothing? Huh? You thinking about me in my head, in my dreams and stuff. Why you ain't say? Thank you. That's all I'm saying. That's all. Cause I know. I know when you thinking about me. Thank you. Thank you. That she just said what I needed her to say. Cause like, thank you. Like, get the. I just. Y'all, trust me. I know exactly what she's talking about. Cause when people be popping up in my dreams, I be like, what do you want? Why are you here? What are you doing? What do you want? Why are you here? What are you doing? You ain't gonna say nothing in the physical. I don't want to see your face in the spiritual. Peace out. Get on up out of here. I had to kick a couple of people up out of my dreams and trying to disturb my peace. No, no. Get your scary ass out of here. Get the fuck out of here. Get out. Bye. Bye. Cause you scary. Cause you scary. Bye.
I hate it so much because you're telling on yourself at this point. For a little bit of context, I had this friend, that's my bestie. We had a falling out a couple of years ago. And she kept popping up in my dreams, just kept popping up in my dreams. And so when we reconnected, I told her about it. And she was like, oh, yeah, it's because I was talking about you. She literally was like, oh, yeah, I missed you every day. Like, I was talking about you to all my friends. And I was really wanting you to reach out. And I'm just like, I already believed myself. Like, I already knew I wasn't tripping, but it's just further confirmation. So now, anytime, and I just saw a bluebird, so that's even further confirmation. So now, anytime somebody pops up in my dreams, I'm just like, bro, what do you want? What you gotta say? Are you gonna say it in person? Are you gonna say it in your waking life? If not, then stay up out of my dreams, please. Oh my God. If somebody else has this type of experience, let me know. Stitch this, comment, duet, whatever. But I wanna know because I get so sick of people not saying it with their chest. I don't want to see you in my dreams. I just wanna sleep. I don't wanna think about you. But you're thinking about me and now I'm stuck.
Can we just say thank you again? Can we just say thank you again for this creator? Can we just say thank you again? Because y'all don't know. Y'all don't know. Some of y'all know, but y'all don't know. Y'all don't know. It's stalking. It's really stalking. And you know what? We just gonna continue because Do y'all remember the last video where the girl had went to sleep and she had astral projected and her grandma showed that her husband was cheating on her and she was just feeling sleepy all day for some reason? This kind of like the same situation, but I don't really know because I ain't watched the full video, so let me just get straight into it. I'm finna stop playing with y'all.
She was guided to fall asleep at that exact time for that exact reason. This story is great. You guys have tagged me in this one so much. Watch it.
So basically, I grew up in a very haunted house. I had a lot of really scary, weird, crazy shit happen in that house that I still almost don't believe to this day because it's that out there. I'm not going to tell you the super scary ones right now because I'm home alone for the next few days, and whenever I start talking about the things that used to haunt me, and I do say haunt, like literally haunt, they kind of come back around for a little bit. So I don't really want to get into that right now, but I will in a couple days if you guys are interested. Also, this isn't my normal content, so don't follow me if you want more of this. I post about reading. I read books. So this happened to my mom, which makes it even crazier because I come from a family who is very aware of the paranormal, but it's also like, don't acknowledge it and it won't acknowledge you. Like, that's how my family is, at least. Everyone like fully believes in it, but also no one ever acknowledges or talks about it. And there's only been a couple instances where something was so crazy we had to tell each other, and this is one of them. So we have a saying with the women in our family, which is like, if you have a problem, sleep on it. Now that I'm older and there's like all these terms for all these things, it is like absolutely ancestral fucking dream witchery going on in my family. This has been like this my whole life, but just as recently as a few months ago, I started having dreams every single night, intense, vivid dreams that I was pregnant. And this one night, I was so convinced I was pregnant at this point. I was like, please, I was like, if I have one more pregnancy dream tonight, then I know for a fact I am pregnant. That night, I had a dream that my best friend came up to me and I took a pregnancy test and she handed it to me and it was positive and she was like, you're pregnant. I woke up the next day and I was like, my best friend's fucking pregnant. A week later, she tells me that she's pregnant. Then she asked me like, well, what do you think the gender is going to be? And she hadn't got her results back yet. And I told her, well, let me dream on it. So I kind of meditated on it. I went to sleep and that night I had a dream. I could tell you about the dream if you want to know. And it was a boy. And then she had her gender reveal. It was a boy. It was very lovely. But all of my dream witchery shit, I get from my mom, who gets it from my grandma, who probably gets it from her lineage all the way fucking back to Adam and Eve, I guess. But my mom had a best friend. I grew up with her. She was my aunt. I love her. I want to change her name in this story, so I'm going to call her Nora. So my aunt Nora and my mom were best friends for years and years and years, and they met when my aunt moved down from like a more northern state down to my mom's home state, and that's how they met and became friends. And every year my aunt Nora would go on a road trip back to her hometown to like visit all of her family. And my mom, she had this really icky feeling about her, and she was like, I don't know if, like, obviously, like, you need to go, but just be careful. I have a really bad feeling about you driving up there. Just be safe and, like, call me when you get there, all these things. And my aunt was like, well, we make this drive all the time. We're going to be fine, but I know that you're kind of, like, witchy and you're kind of weird, so I'll make sure to be careful, and I'll just call you when I get there. On the day that my aunt is driving up, my mom is, like, a workhorse. She is always working. She never gets tired, but this one day, my mom gets so incredibly exhausted. She's like, I have to go lay down. I have to take a nap. Like, I physically cannot stay awake. So she goes in her bedroom, lays down, goes to sleep, and she wakes up in the back of my aunt's car. My uncle's driving, my aunt's in the passenger seat, my mom's sitting in the middle back seat, looking up in between them. My mom's entire body gets filled with this dread feeling from like head to toe, dread. And she leans forward, she grabs both the seats, and she leans forward in between their heads, and she starts looking between them and screaming, stop the car, stop the car. And she's looking at my uncle who's driving, and she's like, Johnny, I had to change his name, Johnny, stop the fucking car, stop the fucking car, screaming at him. Obviously, she's dreaming, she's having a dream, so they're not hearing her. So my mom's yelling at them, stop the car, but then this like primal thing just takes over her, and she looks over at my aunt, she goes, Nora, tell him to stop the fucking car, and she's like screaming, and then my aunt just kind of looks over and then slams her hand like on my uncle's chest and goes, Johnny, stop the car. And he's like, what? And she's like, stop the car. He slams on the brakes. They're going through a green light at this intersection, and he slams on the brakes, stops at the green light, and as they're stopping, the semi-truck blows through a red light and just is like starts honking his horn and just completely barrels through the red light. And then my mom looks over at him, looks over at her. The two of them are looking at each other like, what the fuck? And then my mom's laying in bed, and she just opens her eyes. She sits up, she's sweating, her heart's racing. She's like, and then her phone starts ringing. And she looks over, she grabs the phone, looks at it. It's my aunt. She answers it, and my aunt goes, I think you just saved my life. And my mom was like, I think I just saved your life. And then my aunt was like, I heard you scream. I stopped the car because I heard you scream at me to stop the car. She's like, you just saved my fucking life. And that's the story on how my mom saved her best friend's life.
Y'all, there it is. Do y'all see how powerful we are? Y'all see how powerful we are? I'm just saying, because like we spent our time studying a squared plus b squared equals c squared, but this is what I want to learn. This is what I want to go to school and be about. I want to know about me, my brain, my powers, who I am, how smart and intelligent I am. Like the let me come on now. You see this? Do you see what we doing? You see what we doing out in these streets? Okay, I'm done. Okay, I'm done. I mean, I'm not. She was talking real fast, but she told that story. She told that mom.
The parties in your dream, they don't like when you know it's a dream. Like, why?
Alright, so y'all gotta go watch that whole video, but basically what she was saying in the video is like, if you're in a dream and you start to realize that you're dreaming, you're not supposed to tell the people around you that you know that you're dreaming. It's like dangerous. I'm basically going to share my experience on lucid dreaming, and sometimes it can be scary. So there's this place that I usually always go to when I go to sleep. It's reoccurring. It's a reoccurring dream. I don't know why, but I always go to this place. It's very similar to our world, but the very distinctive thing that I can find, like to know that I'm in my dream world, is the trees. Trees are literally like 3-4 times taller than the ones that we have here. Like, so imagine like they're touching the sky, like they're touching the clouds, right?
That's where you at. You in 3005, because for them to be that tall, for the trees to be that tall, you have to be in like 3005. There has to be, the world has advanced to a state in this reality that you're in. There is advanced technology, there is advanced spiritual knowledge, there is a lot of stuff going on, because I always, you know how I feel about dreams. Dreams are real to me. You in 3005. You in 3005. Okay, I'm sorry.
So in this dream, I always go to Walmart as well. And in this Walmart, it looks just like ours again. But the difference is the aisles are diagonal. Instead of being like straight up and down or like sideways, they're like diagonal. Also, you know how when you go into Walmart, there's like an entrance side and then the exit side? This one just has one big door for the entrance and exit. So people are just coming in and out of one big door, right? Now, if you know me, you know that I'm one of those people who love the parallel universe, conspiracy theory, multiverse, all that good stuff. I do believe that there are other worlds like ours out there. So in real life, I was actually telling people about this dream. I told about 3 or 4 people or so. One of the people that I ended up telling was my guy friend. So about a month later, I had this dream again, and he was there. But I was also walking with other people. It was probably like 3 other people I was walking with. One of them was a tall, light-skinned guy. He was my boyfriend. How do I know that? I don't know, but I just knew. And the other 2, there was the other 2 girls. One had glasses. Another one was like riding a scooter. Like in the dream, I knew them, but I know in real life, I don't know these people. So as I'm talking to these friends, we're walking down the street. Next thing you know, I look over and I see my friend from this world, who one I told about the dream, he was just there. Like he just appeared out of nowhere. And I immediately just started freaking out. I was like, oh my gosh, dude, like you're here. What the fuck? And he was like, yeah. And I see exactly what you mean when you say it's like our world, but like different. And he was like, these trees are freaking tall. And I'm like, right? I got really excited. I was like, dude, I gotta show you around. I gotta show you the whole area, blah, blah, blah. So I tell my friends, I'm like, y'all, we finna go down to Walmart. Do y'all wanna come? They immediately just had this attitude with me, and they were like, no, we're not coming with you. Like, you can do that on your own time. And I was like, come on, y'all. Like, we just finna go down to Walmart. And they were like, no, we're not coming. And they like straight up walked off from me and just like, but I didn't give a fuck. I was just like, okay, fine. I'm just gonna take them myself. So anyways, we started walking down the street, and he was just like admiring everything, and I was just really excited at the fact that he was there. And I tried to fly for him. Like I remember at one time I was able to fly in this dream, so I tried to do it for him. And I even said, I was like, dude, let me see if I could fly. And he was like, okay. I tried it and I couldn't fly, and we both just started laughing. Like we was like, dang, you thought you could, you know, just joking. Like it felt real at this point. It felt real. So anyways, we get down to Walmart. He's immediately like, whoa, it looks like our Walmart, but why is the structure like this? I'm like, right. So we started walking through Walmart. Everybody was giving us that eye, you know, but I didn't really see anything wrong with it because I get that in real life too. So I didn't see anything different. Like I'm just looking at like people looking, you know.
Because in that time, like, listen, let me tell y'all right now, everybody is all activating within their spiritual powers. Their ability to see when things are real, when things are fake, seeing spirits, seeing humans, regular people. Like, we're all just re-registering that into our being. By that time of where she is in that reality, people are able to see who is here and who is not here physically. You know, so what they're seeing is they're noticing that these people, that they noticing that they are not really here. And I think that their friends picked up her. I think that her boyfriend and her other 2 friends picked up on that, and that's why they got an attitude about it, because they just know that that's not the real her. She's being taken over by another parallel.
Oh, it is what it is. But we walking all throughout the store. Next thing you know, we get all the way around and we going out the big exit on the other side of the Walmart. Tell me why there was police, SWAT team, officers, helicopters all outside the door, and they were barricading the door, and they were pointing guns at me and my friend. We started freaking out. We were trying to leave, like, what's going on? Next thing you know, I'm like, we got our hands up. What's wrong? You know what they said to me? You know what they said to us? You're not supposed to be here. Like, when I say y'all, they were screaming this to the top of their lungs. Like, they were mad at us. Like, they got so mad at us. And they just kept screaming, you're not supposed to be here. You're not supposed to be here. And, like, I mean, real deal pointing guns at us. And I'm sitting here like, is it really that crucial? He looking at me like, what did we do? Really started freaking out. And then next, you know, it was like this big flash of light. And I woke up. And I remember I actually have gone back to that place probably about 2 or 3 more times since that dream. And every time I go to that place from now, what I can remember, I always walk past Walmart and I never go in. And something in the back of my head always tells me, do not go in there. I really hope if I can ever...
So y'all, we gotta start paying attention to Walmart now, because if in that reality Walmart got these sensors, but she said that every time she walked past that Walmart she get that feeling, and she hasn't been messed with by the police, by the dream police anytime other than that. Well, she didn't point it out, but you know, I'm just saying, let's be real cautious of Walmart.
Here are some signs that you might be under spiritual attack and your dreams might be trying to tell you. And this includes having curses or spells placed on you, or a psychic trying to spy on you. Number 1, dreaming of an animal attacking you. It is very common for people to dream of a black dog attacking them, growling at them, or trying to bite them. And this can also include dreaming of snakes hissing at you or trying to bite you. Another sign of spiritual attack is dreaming that you are eating very unusual things. You might dream that you are consuming a lot of meat, rotten foods, or being force-fed something. Moving on to number 3, dreaming that you are falling. For example, let's say that you've only been asleep for 1 to 2 hours and suddenly you get the sensation that you are falling and it startles you and wakes you up. Dream number 4, dreaming that you are surrounded by total darkness, or dreaming that you are blind. And finally, dream number 5, dreaming that you are locked up in a cage or that you are tied up. All of these dreams signify that you are being spiritually restricted or controlled.
You for real? Nah, bro, nah. See, look. Wait a minute. You for real? I ain't never seen a dog in my dream. Every time when I'm about to eat something, like when I'm about to eat some real good food that I think is really about to bust, I always wake up before it's time to eat. Like, I just be getting so mad because I be like, baked macaroni and cheese, baked potatoes. Like, it's, yeah, okay, check that one. I ain't had a dream of me falling in a minute, so I'm good. Okay. Number 4, nope. And anytime where I had a dream where I was locked up, I got up out of there. Like, so it's like, you can't mess with me.
Yes, I had the most vivid lucid dream, but it was also sleep paralysis. Like, bro. So during the dream, I'm laying in my bed and all of a sudden, on the walls, all of this writing appeared. It was just random letters, but it was all written in blood red. It was horrifying, right? So then I realized I can't get up, I can't talk, I can't move, whatever. And then I start seeing my family members walk past my bedroom, and I was like, help, like trying to call for help. And they're like, ooh, sorry, we can't help you. Next thing you know, there's a fucking demon in my room. And then I try picking up my phone, and I'm looking at my phone, and the same thing is happening. Like, you know, like data encryption, how it's just like a bunch of random letters and whatever just going through the screen, uploading, right? It was like that, but in blood red lettering, and it was just going and going and going. There was all these X's, like you couldn't use the phone, so I couldn't read anything. But then I finally am able to get up, and I walked to the garage in my house. It was connected to the house at the time, like this one, a connected garage. And I walk into the garage, and in the corner of the garage by the garage door, like over there, but this was at a different house, there was a fucking demon, bro, standing in the corner. He was facing in the corner, and I could see he had hooves. He was like puffing in the corner, and he was chained up. He was chained to the wall. And I'm just like, back up slowly and shut the door, and I can never get that image of that demon out of my fucking head. This was during a very dark time in my life, and I'm glad that those days are over, but that dream was so fucked up. It was horrifying, and just knowing that I couldn't use the phone was horrible. Like, I was trying to type in my password and it kept showing up X's, and it was crazy. I'm living for all of these dream comments, though. I was not expecting this video to get any attention at all.
As soon as you start talking about a demon being in the room, and whatever was on the wall, firstly, you need to pray over that. I mean, you out of the house anyways, but you know, just give yourself a nice little cleanse, you feel me? Because like, seeing inscriptions on the walls, that means that the house got some stuff going on. Yeah, and it's easier, and it's a target to these energies and entities that are looking for a low vibrational place. That house was a target house. And those sigils could actually be the spell to hold the demon there. Okay, so I just watched this video, and this girl was talking about how she had a dream about a road on the ocean. So like, I've had that same situation, and I've had that same dream so many times. When I went down the road on the ocean, it was like when you go past a certain point, it's like a portal, and it take you to wherever you want to go. So then like, I think I was going to like Disney World. So when we was in the car and we was driving on the highway over the ocean, and then we went past, like, it was just like this little clear barrier, and then some button that was clicked on the car, and then all of a sudden when we went past the barrier, there was Disney World. Like, that's the type of dream that I had, that she said that she had the same thing. So I'm just like, wow, maybe this actually exists somewhere. One more.
Okay, you know how they say, like, don't ask people in your dream about the time or the date because the dream police, like, get angry? And many of you may have found me through my video that I made like 2 years ago where I did ask and it got weird. Well, last night I had another like weird time dream. And I'm gonna preface this because I do have psychic dreams where like I have premonitions and I have dreams when people die, and those things are very much related to real life. I will say, as a lucid dreamer, as someone who, like, I guess can astral travel, whatever, my number one thing is you kind of have to take it with a grain of salt. And I say that because not every dream that I have means something. And I also am not going to like uproot myself out of my life and, you know, ruin my experience here as a human being on earth because of things that I experience in my dreams. So last night I had a dream. I actually was like with my grandfather who passed away in 2003, something like that. Like, he passed away a really long time ago. Sometimes we meet up in dreams, but he was there with me, and the dream police were looking for us because they were like, oh, there's a time traveler and we have to find them. So I'm like running, you know, I have my grandfather. I'm like, we gotta hide you. Like, they know that you've come to visit me in 2024 and you're like time traveling your energy like from the past. So they catch us, and I'm like, guys, like, I know that he passed away in the 2000s, but he's deceased. Like, he's not a time traveler and it's fine. And then they detain me and they're like, no, you're the time traveler. And it's really funny because I was lucid, right? Like, I know that I'm dreaming, and I'm like, no, I'm just like, I'm just dreaming. And they were like, do you know where you are right now? And I'm like, yeah, I mean, I'm in dream, like, I'm asleep and I'm in a dream, but like, I'm just myself back at home in my bed. And they were like, what year is it? And I'm like, it's 2024 and I'm sleeping, but I'm here in the dream and I'm visiting with my grandfather. And like, the dream police look at each other and they're just like, okay, show her. And then someone brings up this, like, literally, I identified it as a phone, but it was not a phone. It was some sort of like data showed me, and they were like, the year is 2089. And I was like, what? And they were like, essentially they were like, you're time traveling and that's why you're like blowing up. Because like I gained a lot of Instagram followers this month. Like, side note, I like hit 50K, which is like crazy and happened out of nowhere. And they were like, yeah, you're like doing some in the like time stuff, and we need, you know, you've forgotten who you are. Like, you literally think that you're in 2024. And I was like, I am in 2024. Just like chasing me, and it was like we were in this like glass prism, and we were going through all these mirrors, and it was just like, it went on forever. And you could go like up or down or sideways. There was like no weight or gravity or anything. So I was like going through all of these mirror portals, and then finally like they caught me, and I was like, this is a dream. And I kind of like centered myself, and then everything like pulled back, and it was like I was in this like big white space. And then it actually started to freak me out because it was just so like vivid and weird. But thankfully, just like in my real life, I've been having really intense bouts of vertigo while I sleep. So if I like am on one side and I flip to the other side, it feels like I'm spinning with my eyes closed. And I don't really know what's causing that. And I do maybe have to get that checked out. It might be like an inner ear thing, but it woke me up. So I wasn't trapped in that dream anymore, but I did think that that was like really crazy.
If you dream in the middle of the night, like the dead of the night, 2 a.m., 3 a.m., that is typically a prophetic dream. If a prophetic dream is something about the future, it feels very real. It feels like you're in it and it's happening to you. Yeah. That's generally the middle of the night. Other dreams come in early in the morning, right before you wake up. Those dreams are
Wait a minute. Okay, so the dream that I had in between 2 to 3 a.m. was being chased by a unicorn. What you're not finna do is judge me. What you're not finna do is judge me, okay? You don't even know what happened in the dream for me to be running from a unicorn, so I don't want to hear none of that. None of it. Just wipe that off of my chest real quick.
subconscious dreams. Those are clearing dreams. Those are either fears that are coming up or emotional wounding or trauma that's coming up to be released. A lot of times people will call me right before I woke up this morning. I dreamt my grandmother would die. And I'm like, That's a fear. That's a releasing of a fear. If you had that dream in the middle of the night, then there's some validity to it. Then you're being asked to connect with her, to be able to talk to her, because there is a transition that's going to happen.
So I'm going through this period where I'm waking up at 3 a.m., 5, 7. It's like hard to keep up with all the dreams that I've had, but I did remember that unicorn dream. Because it was, who dreams about unicorns? But that is all, folks. I love y'all. Thank y'all so much for tuning in with me today, and I hope y'all have a good rest of y'all day and enjoy your time in the astrals and in the dream room.